Tonight, Donald Trump capped off a calamitous day on the campaign trail with an interview on Hannity's show, and as expected, it was another self-inflicted disaster. Every time Trump opens his mouth, the potential for it to blow up in his face is sky high, and tonight was no different. He doubled down on one of the most damaging decisions his campaign has faced, and it was enough to leave Hannity visibly stunned by Trump's words. A huge, easily avoidable blunder. We'll dive into all the details and dissect just how bad this moment was, but before we do, if I could ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, it makes a huge difference for our channel, and I truly appreciate it. Now, let's break down this ludicrous interview.
Are a little bit more aggressive. Our country is a crime-ridden country. When they go into department stores and they strip the store, and our police are standing out there wanting to do their job, but they're told, stand down, don't touch anybody. And they're walking out with refrigerators, and they're walking out with air conditioners. And there's hundreds of...
Trump's latest batch of fear-mongering stories is laughably bizarre. According to him, they're coming for your air conditioners and appliances. Yes, really. He paints this picture where people are stealing refrigerators and air conditioners, and somehow, the police are powerless to stop it. This is Trump's closing message, scattered, strange, and dripping with conspiracy. It's a speech with no clear point, just fear. Fear-mongering is really all Trump has left to cling to at this point in the campaign. If he manages to string a few coherent words together, it's always to spread fear or launch an attack, as we're seeing here.
And yet they do it. Maybe it's because they want to destroy the country. I don't know.
Or gender-affirming care for minors.
Sure.
Care without parental consent.
So a young man leaves for school and goes to school, and the authority takes him over without parental consent, and they do things to him that you don't want to know about? I mean, is this supposed to be America? I don't think so.
That doesn't sound
These people are radical people, and let me tell you, she's not a smart person. She's a low IQ individual. I've said it for a long time. She speaks so slowly, everything's so slow. She thinks of answers. They ask her a question. She talks about she was grown up with a lawn growing on her front yard. Everything is like crazy. 60 Minutes.
Trump's campaign has only gotten more repulsive with his attacks on trans Americans, a hateful narrative he's made central to his message, pouring the most money into ads that target trans people in swing states. It's beyond gross. This pattern of singling out, attacking, and dividing is Trump's playbook, using lies and spreading fear to stir up resentment for his own gain. And it doesn't stop with transphobia. This goes hand in hand with his endless stream of conspiracy theories aimed at the Biden-Harris administration. Here's one particularly absurd example.
We would have been supplying oil and gas to China, to all of Asia, it's Alaska, to Japan. It would have been unbelievable. We would have been paying down debt. He comes in and he rejects it because the environmentalists reject it. It has nothing to do with the environment. It's good for the environment.
When you say energy...
Of course, Trump loves to jump into the energy debate, claiming the U.S. isn't producing enough oil. Yet, the reality is that under Biden and Harris, the U.S. achieved energy independence for the first time in 50 years, something that never happened under Trump's watch. His promises about slashing energy prices or miraculously fixing the economy are just empty words with no explanation to back them up. It's a lot of confusion, half-truths, and rambling that no one challenges, so he just keeps pushing the narrative. And here, we see even more of that incoherent rhetoric.
But if the ocean rises 1/8 of an inch over the next 500 years, we'll handle that. What we don't want is global warming of the nuclear variety, and that could happen tomorrow.
It's almost laughable watching Trump go on about the threat of nuclear war when people in his own party, generals, high-ranking officials, and even his loyal supporters are deeply uneasy about him having access to the nuclear codes. Take Marco Rubio, for example. He's out there campaigning with Trump, yet he's made it clear that he doesn't want Trump near those codes because he knows the risks. If that doesn't make people stop and think about Trump's fitness to lead, I don't know what will. And then there's the company he chooses, like Elon Musk. Listen to how he talks about him.
What role for Elon Musk?
So Elon has a lot of roles he could take because he's a very exceptional guy. But he has a thing. He feels there's such waste, fraud, and abuse in our budgets, and he's right.
I honestly can't think of a more cringeworthy pairing than Trump and Elon Musk. It's not just about their rhetoric or the anger they both seem to thrive on. There's a weird factor here too. Ellen's the guy we all saw fumble through his speech at MSG, and while that alone doesn't make him a bad person, there are plenty of other things that do. But putting him and Trump together, that's a duo I can't unsee, and not in a good way. What's worse is the disturbing picture Trump tries to paint right here.
With Hispanics, but I've had really great relationship with Puerto Rico and people from Puerto Rico. They love, every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss.
This is the moment when the interview takes a serious turn. Donald Trump attempts to backtrack from those appalling comments made by the comedian at Madison Square Garden about Puerto Rico. And, predictably, he goes into full damage control mode, spinning a tale about how people come up. They hug me, they kiss me, they love me. Earlier, he even claimed to be the best president Puerto Rico has ever had. An absolute fabrication, but is anyone really surprised? What's even worse is that he doubles down on those comments right here, trying to justify the unjustifiable.
I don't even know if you were there for the whole thing. I don't know what time you got there. I was told and made aware that you had no idea about this comedian who made comments.
I have no idea who he is. Somebody said there was a comedian that joked about Puerto Rico or something, and I have no idea who he was. Never saw him, never heard of him, and don't want to hear of him. But I have no idea. They put a comedian in, which everybody does. You throw comedians in. You don't vet them and go crazy. It's nobody's fault. But somebody said some bad things. Now, what they've done is taken somebody that has nothing to do with the party, has nothing to do with us, said something, and they try and make a big deal. But I don't know who it is. I don't even know who put him in. And I can't imagine it's a big deal. I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president, I think, that's ever been president.
Donald Trump's reaction to the comments made by that comedian, which have spiraled into a full-blown crisis for his campaign, is shockingly dismissive. He insists it's not a big deal, all while claiming he doesn't even know who the comedian is or what was said. It's a narrative we've seen before, just like J.D. Vance trying to brush things off by saying, "Oh, I didn't hear it. I don't know what you're talking about." But Trump's flippant attitude doesn't change the reality. This is a significant issue, and he's about to learn just how big it is when voters head to the ballot box. He continues to scramble for a defense, as evidenced in this next clip right here.
I was there handing out food. I got in trouble for that too because we were having fun. We had a lot of people, and I was throwing paper towels to the back. They were all having fun. And the fake news came, oh, that was very disrespectful to be throwing towels. No, I have unbelievable good relationship with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people.
Donald Trump seems to believe that his pitiful response to Hurricane Maria, throwing paper towels to victims, was somehow a fun moment. Really? Fun? I'm sure the families who lost loved ones and the community forced to rebuild found that amusing. This is the kind of leadership we're expected to support. Contrast that with what true leadership sounds like. Listen to Kamala Harris. She embodies what it means to lead with compassion and strength, focusing on real solutions rather than trivializing tragedy.
As Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure America has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes, calls them suckers and losers, called a 4-star Marine general a, quote, lowlife. I will always honor, never denigrate, the service and sacrifice of our troops and their families, and fulfill our sacred obligation to care for them. I will strengthen, not surrender, America's global leadership. And I will stand with our friends because I know that our alliances keep American people safe and make America stronger and more secure. Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark, easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election. I will always uphold our security, advance our national interest, and ensure that the United States of America remains, as we must forever be, a champion of liberty around the world.
Donald Trump has consistently attacked our military while cozying up to dictators, all while labeling Americans as the enemy within. He's completely indifferent to Puerto Rico facing attacks from a no-name comedian at his rally. Why? Because his priority is fear-mongering for personal gain. He thrives in this climate of division, anger, and fear, which he manipulates for political advantage. On the other hand, Kamala Harris is focused on progress. As she stated, it's time to move forward. She emphasizes unity, compassion, and the importance of lifting everyone up rather than tearing them down.
What Donald Trump has never understood is that e pluribus unum, out of many, one, isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth about the heart of our nation. Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time. Just think of your own family, right? It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we? We like a good debate. And the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within. They are family, neighbors, classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans, we rise and fall together. America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States of America.
What a powerful closing message for the campaign. It's an essential reminder of the unity we need to build a better future together. That's the vision I'm supporting, and it's what we'll be discussing on this show every single day. If you believe in this message too, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you made it to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.